A new video. This video is basically going to be a tell me if I'm wrong video. I might turn this into a series because I experience a whole lot of craziness in my life, and most of the time people that are around me make it seem like I'm wrong for how I feel about the situation. So maybe coming from a different perspective, you guys can help me and give me advice on how to deal with these situations, or tell me, if I'm wrong, then just tell me I'm wrong, and I'll completely accept that. Okay, so in this scenario, I have a friend, right? And she is a member of our church. She is a very close friend. And every friend that we have that connects us are members of our church. Because our church is small, it's very close knit, and everybody pretty much knows each other. So I'm just sitting around the house. I get a phone call. She calls me. She's supposed to be at work, but she calls me and said that a water main broke, so she couldn't. She didn't have to go to work. She was. She sounded wide awake when she called me. She sounded happy that she didn't have to go to work that day, and I was like, great, okay. So she tells me that she was on her way to my house because she wanted to hang out and talk to my mom and just kind of spend time with the family or whatever. And I said, okay, well, my throat is hurting real bad. So she said she has throat medicine at her house, and she would stop by her house and go and pick up the throat medicine and then be at my house in 20 minutes. And I really needed throat medicine, so I was happy that she was going to get it, but it didn't matter to me either way. So I'm sitting around the house just doing nothing, waiting for her to come over. Just waiting. 2 hours go by. Okay? I don't hear from her. She doesn't call. She doesn't stop by. At this point, I'm like, well, this is really weird. She hasn't called. She hasn't stopped by. Something has to be wrong here. Something has to be, you know, something has had to happen to her. So she lives in a house full of girls. I tried to get in contact with, well, I shouldn't say a house full, but she lives in a house with two girls, and I tried to get in contact with them. I called both the girls. Neither one of them answered their phone. I called one of the girls twice and left her a message. I said, please have this person contact me because she was supposed to be at my house, and it's been 2 hours and I don't know where she is, and I'm really concerned. And so I have, and then I start trying to contact people, their boyfriends that are, maybe their boyfriends know where they are. So I tried to contact their boyfriends and try to track them down so I can find out where she is, and nobody's picking up the phone. Okay, so as time progresses, I get more and more and more and more and more nervous, and more like, oh my God, something happened to her. Oh my God, something happened to her. So I think it was like 5 hours later, I started to listen to the police, like the police network in our town. So I started to listen to that and see if like an accident happened, or if they found somebody, or if anything happened, because I'm freaking out thinking that something happened to her. I'm like in tears. I'm like really really messed up about it. I contacted my pastor, and I'm like, maybe if you call her, she'll answer the phone, or maybe if you call one of the boys, or if you call one of the girls, they'll answer the phone, because they don't always answer my call, but they rarely ever will not pick up the phone for the pastor. So I actually left that apart. Okay, so I ended up talking to one of the girls on the phone. I got in contact with one of her roommates. She was in Denver, so she didn't know either way, but she said that if she got in contact with her, that she would contact me. Okay, whatever. So it's hours and hours and hours later. I haven't heard back from anybody. The more time that goes past, I'm freaking out. It's like 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the morning by then. I'm, can't sleep. because I don't know what's going on. And eventually, I just posted a status or whatever because I was mad at the members of my church, and I said something along the lines of, how can you, have friend, or I guess I'm the only one that really cares about their friend. Everybody else is kind of just, not caring, because that's how I felt. But I was pissed off and angry, and like, I just pissed off at them, but it was probably because of the fact that I was so upset by the situation and not knowing what was going on and what happened to this person. And so after I posted the status, the girl that I talked to earlier said, "Oh, she fell asleep. She's at home." And so at this point, I'm thinking, all right, well, you knew she was at home, um, and you didn't contact me at all to tell me that you spoke to her, because apparently she spoke to her roommate and told her that she fell asleep. Didn't bother to call me or text me to say anything. She says that she texted my mother, which is fine, but you didn't make arrangements with my mother, and you made arrangements with me. So I'm at this point, I'm just like, I don't know how I feel. I was angry at the whole situation at first, and then I calmed down and was like, maybe I'm being petty, it's, at least she's safe. Um, and I started to feel a certain kind of way, like I was overreacting, because in this situation, people acted like I overreacted. So maybe I started to feel like I was overreacting, and I started to calm down. But I just had a text message conversation with this person, and because I sent her a text earlier telling her that I wasn't mad at her. And she said to me, "Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to my phone lately, but everyone you talked to or called said you seemed pissed, and your status pretty much summed up that you were mad." And I don't understand how the people that I talked to can say that I was pissed when I was calling them, saying that I was, very concerned and I didn't know what would happen. I don't know how that come across as pissed, but a lot of times different cultures will hear different things depending on who's talking to them. And then I said to her, "Pissed? No, I was worried and concerned, and they should stop gossiping. If you want to know how I really was, talk to the pastor, who I called in complete panic. I was angry at them because they didn't seem at all concerned you were missing." And yeah, I was angry at them. And then she's texted me and said, "He texted me, but no, I live with enough people. If something was wrong, it would have been taken care of." Yeah, and then I said, "Yeah, how do I know that you even made it home?" And then I said, "That logic makes no sense. You called me from your car and said you would be at my house in 15 minutes. Hours go by and I don't hear from you. I am thinking you are on the side of the road somewhere, but okay, I won't worry anymore." She said, "I said I was going home before I went to your house and passed out after overworking myself." And then I said, "Well, yeah, how do I know that you even made it home?" And then she said, "If I didn't, what could you do? LOL. I would be picked up by the paramedics who instantly would have let someone know. Which is why," and then I said, "which is why I called every hospital in GR." And then she said, "The pastor is one of my emergency contacts. He would have let you know." And this is where I have the problem. I didn't have a problem before this. And now I'm starting to feel a certain kind of way. Okay. So I stayed up all night. I was calling both the police station to where she works and the police station in Grand Rapids, talking to the detectives, trying to figure stuff out. Called every hospital in the city that I live in, called the hospital in the joint city that I lived in, trying to figure out what was going on. And it just seems like she doesn't get the seriousness of the situation, or she's just it feels like she just doesn't understand where I'm coming from. Or obviously my pastor would have told me yes if something was going, if something was wrong, but I called him at like 12 o'clock at night, maybe closer to 1, and asked him what was going on. He was asleep. Like, he would have never even been able to relay that message to me if something did go wrong. So for her to say that, he's my emergency contact, or the people in my house would have known, and all this craziness. If you're stuck on the side of the road somewhere, or something happened to you, immediately you're not, it's not necessarily, I'm thinking I'm calling these people to see what's going on. Maybe they can send somebody out to try to find her. That's what I'm thinking. Because if something happened to you and nobody knew about it, then at least you would have somebody out there looking for you. That's how I'm thinking about the situation. And I just the more that I think about the whole situation, the more angry that I get. And I don't know if I'm just being stubborn or stupid, or just, I don't know what if you have people around you that make it seem like you overreact all the time. It's hard to decide whether or not you're really overreacting. So that's why I'm taking this to you, so that you can share your opinion on the situation and how I should handle this, or if I'm mishandling it. I don't know. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.